Hey everyone, it's SoranotRoxas here. Hopefully I have enough light. It seems like I can see my face, so I apologize if you guys can barely see me. Let me sit back like this. Is this better? Is this better? It's not like you guys can answer me. But man, it's been a while since I've made a video, and it just feels weird to be back in front of the camera after 2 weeks. But we're actually... I don't know what's going to happen to this YouTube channel because next week I'm going to have an announcement and it's going to be very important. So it's going to show what's going to happen to the future of this channel, why I haven't been making as many videos, and possibly if I'm going to make any more videos in the future. So next week we have actually January's been pretty decent with movies this year. Yeah, what I had last year, Kung Fu Panda 3, and that was it. I should have been made a review on this. I apologize. I'm about a week and today's Friday, right? So I'm about a week and let's see, my calendar says 2 days late, 2 or 3 days late, okay? Because I saw this movie last Tuesday and I never made a review about it. And I'm so glad Hidden Figures is doing good at the box office right now. It's still #1 at the box office and it's a fantastic movie. You should go see it. I wasn't too enthusiastic on making a review about it, not because it's bad, because it's actually too good. It's so good that there's not really much for me to complain about. I guess the only complaint I probably have about this movie, and it's not even a complaint, it's more of a nitpick, is that they could have balanced the three main characters more, because there are three main characters here, but it seems like the focus is put on Tajay P. Henson's character and in the movie. And I'm talking about Hidden Figures in a second, because I just kind of threw that in there for people that don't know what Hidden Figures is. You should know now. It's been over a week. Well, over 2 weeks. So, yeah, so we have actually a movie that came out today I wanted to see called The Founder with Michael Keaton. It's the creation of McDonald's. I really want to see that. And I don't know if I'm going to try to go see that or Patriots Day. Either way, we're getting some good movies this January. It's so rare to see that. In 2017, start off with some good stuff. That's good. But we also have Kingdom Hearts coming out next week. I'm going to try to get that, and that's possibly going to be the last game I get. And I'm gonna state why. And in like another video, I'm going to state why exactly that's going to be my last game and what's going to happen with that, because we'll see if I have another review or another gameplay video out before I make that very important message that I want to make. Alright, so Hidden Figures is a film about three females, well, engineers, mathematicians, who will work with computers and robots and junk like that in the NASA program. But here's the twist. They're actually African American, and it's done in the 60s and 70s, I think it is. Yeah, like, it's been a second since I've seen it. I actually still have my ticket here. Is this the ticket? Yeah, I still have my freaking ticket for it, which is funny because I kept the ticket just to remind me that, hey, you need to make a review on this film. And yeah, so it's during a time of racism and injustice, so not too different from today, but it's more of a time where it was more prominent. They had different colored bathrooms and everything, and these women struggle. These women who are brilliant people, but who had to struggle to get to where they're at. But they did it in a smart way by going to school and getting their education that they need, becoming an engineer, becoming a highly respected mathematician, to the point where the person that Tajay P. Henson plays can do math in her head like no tomorrow. Then you have Octavia Spencer in there, and I can't remember the other girl's name. I'm gonna have to look it up, but I can't remember her name right now. And then you have Octavia Spencer's character, who's like, hey, they're bringing in this new supercomputer, the IBM. We all know what that is today. They're bringing in the IBM for the first time for NASA, and it's supposed to process numbers much faster than a human, more faster than we can. So here's what we should do. We should actually make it so that we learn about this computer. And that was so smart of her to do, so genius. Because if they did, the computer will put them out of business. So, you know, they wouldn't have a job there. And they probably... for how high her stakes were. Oh, and Kirsten Dunst is in this, who, for some reason, I didn't freaking recognize at all. So when I seen her, I was like, I know this woman from somewhere. I know this woman. And then it was like, oh, Mary Jane from Spider-Man once the credits came up. So that was pretty funny. So yeah, so for Octavia Spencer's character to have like basically the most impactful out of the three, because she could have lost her job in her house and been financially strained because she had 2 kids. And she couldn't even go to the library because she was black, and it's so crazy, so surreal how one part of racism can go, but then another part pops up. It's just so sad to see that people are like that, and it was the reason why I picked Zootopia as my best film last year. Well, doing my top 10 list with best film for 2016 was because I liked how even Disney know that these prejudices exist, that this racism exists, and we have to address it. We have to address it. So I'm glad that this film is doing as well as it is, and it really is a good film. And like I said, but it also, it hits like every standard. It's not really something that jumps out as much to you. I would say that I don't know if I would have seen this movie if I wasn't trying to review it, but it took me like 2 weeks to review it, and even then I was like, you know, even though I didn't review it, I'm still glad I saw it. But now I'm doing the review now, and once again, I'm glad I saw it. So, at the same time, I will recommend to go out there and see it. But on another note, on the same side, it's pretty standard as far as like, oh, these are Oscar-winning performances, and this is Oscar-winning writing. These don't feel like characters, these feel like people, these feel like this actually happened. Yeah, there do feel like there are some liberties taken, and I do feel like that's the case. One of the characters have an outburst in an entire room full of white people, and they're the only black person in there, and somehow they don't get fired, which I find that hard to believe, especially during the late 60s, early 70s. I don't know. It just didn't come across to me as that actually happened, at least not to the extent that they played it as in the film, and that could just be Hollywood just trying to intensify the situation, which I'm sure the situation definitely was tense, because hell, if you're gonna live during that time period, it was tense as hell. Trust me, I know some people who did live that time period, and that's very sad to go through segregation, and they had to integrate the schools and everything. But of course, we learned about this through history, and we should keep learning about it. That way we should know our past and try not to repeat the mistakes of the past. So I'm glad this film was made, especially the time that it was made in. Hell, there's an inauguration going on with a president that's not too likable right now, which is understandable. So, you know, regardless of your political views, I don't want to get into it today, especially since today's inauguration day. I was glad that this film, it's so funny how I'm coming out with this review now. So I was glad that this film was actually made, and it's doing well at the box office, and it's truly a treasure to behold. So far, this has already made my list of the best films of 2017. This is my first film of 2017, and I'm already enjoying the hell out of it. So I might review The Founder next. I really want to see that. But like I said, I'm going to have a video out next week that's going to explain exactly what's going to be happening to me and what's going to be happening to this YouTube channel, especially since I've been getting more subscribers lately. But yeah, that's about it. Let's see how long have I talked for. Check the time up here. 8 minutes and 47, almost 9 minutes, so that's not too bad. So I'm just going to go ahead and end it here. Thank you guys for watching. Hidden Figures. Really good movie. Not too many complaints. Like I said, they may have taken some liberties, which you can kind of tell. And the fact that they probably should have balanced the 3 characters. They could have balanced the 3 characters a little bit better, but for what they did well. So the focus was kept where it needed to be, but I think it should have been kept central around these 3 characters rather than more focused on one. Because it felt like there was one main protagonist, and then there was like 2 detagonists, or whatever you call it. Secondary protagonists. So where it should have just been 3 main characters, and then once in a while they'll be together. But yeah, that's it. I thoroughly enjoyed the film, man. I would not mind seeing it again. Definitely seeing it on Blu-ray or a digital download eventually. Alright, so guys, thank you for watching, and hopefully I'll see you in another video. At least 2 more videos after this. Take care.